Hi guys, welcome to day 17 of the 60-day DAS Trader Challenge. Today was a really good follow-up to yesterday. Another good day in terms of low stress levels, good execution, and good adherence to the plan. You can't ask for more than that. I mean, even if the profits don't come your way, you still know that you followed your plan to the letter, which I did today. Now, today I only took 20 executions, which I worked out to be 5 trades, which is just really great. I mean, that is just a good number. If I can do this every day, I'll be very happy. I know this won't happen every day, but so far, we've had 2 days in a row that have been quite good. So fingers crossed. Now tomorrow's Friday, so we'll see how that goes. And Monday there's only half the day. The market closes at 1 o'clock, so I'm not expecting a lot of good setups and a lot of good liquidity. And Tuesday the market is closed for the public holiday for the 4th of July. Therefore, what am I going to do on Monday and Tuesday? I don't know. I'm going to have to figure something out because I'm going to be missing the market. Anyway, so today, P&L, we finished up $426. Now, half of that was made pre-market of this specs. That was a pre-market long trade, which has had a lot of good momentum in it, and I just saw it out of the open and went for it. WBA was the second really good trade. STZ we'll talk about, didn't do a lot, didn't move a lot, and NVIDIA was just a very minor trade. For once, doesn't happen very often. Let's start with NVIDIA because I've got it first up. So this is just a very small trade. Now, what happened here was that I got sloppy and I covered too early. This moved nicely to T1 and beyond. Need to be a little bit more patient, especially as there are no indications to get out. So in other words, I got in with 100 shares at 149.70, which you can't see, but it's literally just sitting on that green triangle as well. And my first level was this kind of day level of 149.27, and it did get there, well, virtually got there, and I covered half of it here. And then for some stupid reason, and I know what it was. It was psychological, because I knew that I was already up $248 from the pre-market. I didn't want to lose any of that. I didn't want to give any of that back. Mind you, my daily target is $300. So I was very conservative. So today is a day where I was affected by psychology because I knew what I had made pre-market. Now, I don't actually know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. For example, if I come to the market and I start with 0 and I don't trade pre-market, as soon as 9:30 hits, I don't have any preconceived ideas or any preconceptions as to what I should do. Should I get out of this? Should I let it run? But because I had already made almost $250, it was very much in the back of my mind. I don't want to be losing this, and it makes you trade differently. Now, in a way, it's good because I only took what I consider to be the A1 best setups, the premium setups, and I let everything else slide. That's one good way of looking at it. If you were to look at it from another perspective, it held me back. It held me back from doing what I do naturally because of the fact that I didn't want to go in the red. So I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't traded pre-market for a long time, so I'm not sure how to handle it going forward. We'll see. We've still got quite a few weeks to go, and I'll see whether I do any pre-market trades. But I'm going to have to figure out a way to kind of deal with this going forward. So I just got freaked out here. I had no reason to get out here because it didn't even come close to my exit point, to my stop loss. I mean, this moved really nicely down, but it is what it is. I just kind of got a bit scared out, and I didn't want to kind of lose what I had. Now, now I'm thinking about it. This brings it back to the analogy where we as humans have this kind of psychology built into us, whereby we let our losers run because we don't want to realize a loss and be wrong, and yet we take really small, quick profits because we want to have a bird in our hand. This is a really good example of this kind of quick profit mentality, which is not good. It's not good. I had a plan. Did I stick to it? Not quite. Had I stuck to it, would it have worked? Yes. So that was NVIDIA. Then we had specs. So specs was the pre-market trade. So this one, so my lessons were I saw momentum come into the trade. I decided to go long. It moved nicely in my direction almost straight away. A sign of a good trade. I got in here with, as you can see, 500 shares at $2.95, which is this top triangle here. And then I added just a little bit more, another 500 shares, where I just dropped a tiny weeny bit, I think at $2.89, which gave me an average of $2.92. So not a bad price, probably got a little bit higher in, but note that the VWAP is this blue line here, right? Because this is a low float momentum stock, I didn't really want to get in below the VWAP because these things could just tank. So you want to get in above the VWAP if you can. So I couldn't really get anywhere earlier than that. I mean, really, you could argue I could have gotten here, but I wanted to see how the candle was going to close. So all in all, I think this is probably the best entry I could have got. You know, I mean, the volume, you can't see much volume going on because there wasn't that much going on, but there were people buying this up, and I mean, this moved from what, 5, 10, 15, 20. So 25 minutes, which is not that long really when you consider it. And you know, I reached almost my daily target with a small trade. I wouldn't say small because it was 1,000 shares, but small trade in the sense of low risk. That's what I meant when I say small trade. You know, in no way, shape or form did it even come close to $2.80, which is good. And it just kind of moved nicely up. It had a bit of a doji here, but you know, I had a really good feeling about this. Now I don't know whether that's a good thing that I have a gut feeling. Maybe it is, because maybe maybe what I consider to be a gut feeling is actually my experience beginning to kind of take over and show me things I wasn't aware of before. I wasn't aware of how to comprehend them, and now I do. But I had a feeling, well, let's call it, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but I had an inclination that this would kind of keep going up on its momentum. And I actually wrote to a friend in a chat that I think this is going to go up because I think it's just quite strong on the day. So I got out here. Now it was gonna reach to 325, so that was my target, 325, and it got there. 324 or 320, I got out, 322, something like that. And I think I actually scaled out in 4 little lots. So I wanted to kind of hold on because I wanted to see it go a bit further, which I knew it was going to. Well, I didn't know, no one knows, but I had a good feeling it would. But I know also, now let me show you something which happens a lot, and this is something really useful to take into account. Whenever you have a stock building up pre-market, what I've noticed, and this happens a hell of a lot of times, literally, I mean, I don't know how often it happens, but I would say close to 85–90%. When it reaches 9.25, the 5 minutes before the market opens, there's usually a pullback. In other words, people are taking profit because they don't know what's going to happen at market open. And I've seen this a lot of times, especially on these low float momentum stocks. So you just got to be careful. Don't get into this trade like at 9 o'clock in the morning, which was around about here, let's say at $3.29. Don't expect it to go up too much because it will have a sudden kind of downfall. It doesn't have to have one, but I've noticed it a lot in my trading. So I didn't want to hold this past about 9 o'clock or 9:10 because I anticipated this was going to happen. But this was just a really, really good solid trade. So this was $248. So I'm pretty much already done for the day. And yeah, just a good, I wouldn't say easy because no trade is easy, but it was just a low risk trade and a really good risk return momentum, risk reward there as well. Then the last 2 trades, STZ. Now this was just a kind of head scratcher for me. It didn't move. I mean, it didn't move in the sense that from my entry, which is at the VWAP, I went to short it, and because it's so expensive, I only took 50 shares. I traded twice. These orange circles indicate each trade. My stop loss was at the VWAP, which is at $196, pretty much even, and my target was $193. Now it actually did get to my target, but I missed it. I don't know what I was doing. I must have been watching something else, and I just kind of missed it, and it kind of bounced back up again. Now, because this stock is so expensive, I mean, if you look at it here, from 9 o'clock, it's gone from $202 to about, I don't know, let's call it $197, right? So what's that? What am I doing? $10. Yeah, no, 203, $6. It moved 6 points in half an hour. So 6 points is a lot. So I was expecting, and I guess this isn't something unusual. This is a pretty kind of natural thesis to have, that if it dropped 6 points, you know, there's no reason for it to drop another 2, 3, 4 potentially, right? So if this was my ideal target, right, which I didn't mark, but this was my ideal target, which is that moving average, 50-day simple moving average, which is really from $190. So this was, you know, pretty much 5 points. So this would have been the ideal target. So that's why I kind of didn't cover at this, because I didn't think it was coming. I thought it was going to go lower than that, and I only had 50 shares. But it didn't, and I kind of got out here at the VWAP, which was good because it kind of bounced up a little bit. And then I tried again as it broke the VWAP down again, thinking, okay, I'll give this a second shot. But it just wasn't doing anything. I mean, even now, what are we? It's 11:59, And if you have a look at it now, where is it? STZ. Look at it. It's doing absolutely jack all. I'm not going to swear, but it's doing nothing. Absolutely. It's doing nothing. It's just consolidating, which you don't really see a stock consolidating from the market open. It usually has, you know, some kind of move up or down. But anyway, it is what it is, right? So that was it, STZ. Nothing really worked on that one. And then WBA, which was a kind of highlight of the day alongside SPEX. This was a short trade. Now, the lessons here, an excellent trade. Finally, I'm beginning to add to a winning position rather than losing ones. I'd love to repeat this every day, 8 out of 10. What I did really well here is that I got in here at a reasonable price. Probably, I mean, the VWAP was $81, so I probably got in, you know, 59 cents. I probably got in 40 cents below what would have been a perfect entry, but you can't always time them that perfectly as well. As long as you kind of follow the momentum, I mean, that is sometimes the best that you can do without taking excessive risk. And I do want to take excessive risk. So what I did, I took 100 shares here, short, and then I saw it coming, moving down my direction. I could see the big volume here, and I thought, okay, this is in play. So I added another 100 shares here, and then just a nice move down. I added another 100 shares here. So I was holding a 300 share position, and I think actually I don't think I added to this until it had this kind of touch and then back down again. And this is what I added. So I added on the way down. So just a really nice solid trade. So I was holding 300 shares at an average of $80.27. You can see my 3 ads here. The stop was at the VWAP, which I mentioned. The target was the 50-day simple moving average, which is this green line here, and it just kind of hit it perfectly. And I got out, I think I got out half here, which you can see up here if you have a look at it, wherever it is. I don't want to waste your time by kind of searching for it. I'm mindful of the time, but it's here. So I think I covered half, which I think is this one here, 150 shares because I had 300. Then I covered, I think, another half here, which is 75. The plan was to let the rest kind of slide down here, hopefully to the 200. That would have been ideal. So what I've started doing is I've started leaving a little sliver, as I call it, maybe 50 shares or roughly around there, just to kind of see what happens with it after I've closed out most of my position. But in this case, it kind of didn't do anything below that, and I just got out because I just wanted to close out for the day. So that's it. You know, a shorter video than normal, only 12.5 minutes, which is probably a record because I did waffle on. But just a really good day overall. Really happy. Hopefully we can see this continue tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Shoot me off an email or leave any comments if you like, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you guys. Bye.